The NFL draft is less than 3 weeks away, and we shall see what the Chicago Bears will do. Right now, you are going to get Bobby's mock draft. You know, I'm going to talk about it, have a little fun with it right after this.
Into Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears. If you're tuned in with me, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Now, this is Bobby's mock draft. Steve Oat had his, Big Kev had his, and you have yours. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like and where you agree or disagree and why. But this is my mock draft. It's Bobby's. Create your own. And let's talk about that one too. Do it below. We're going to chop it up. But let's get right into it, man. Y'all already know the Chicago Bears. They got 4 picks in this draft right now. I'm not going to do any trades during this mock draft. That's a spoiler alert. But I think it's really good. With the number 1 overall pick, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams. I think all signs are pointing to this. I think it makes 100% sense. I understand there are other prospects that are out there who some people might favor more so than Caleb Williams. There are things you like, certain things that you dislike. But I think with what we've heard, with what we've seen, the Chicago Bears have honed in on who they believe is the quarterback that is going to take this thing to the next level. So they select Caleb Williams out of USC. You look at everything that has transpired. You look at everything for what it really is, and you say this could be the guy, and this is the guy that the Bears will select. Before the combine, Caleb Williams met with the Chicago Bears. At the combine, they did a little talking to him and see how he interact with people. Boom. Then they met with Caleb Williams before the pro day, has spent some time with him. Then they go to the pro day, see how people interact with him, see what he's capable of if he's handling his business. Boom. So then the top 30 visit, the day prior, they have dinner with this guy. They invite teammates, they invite people, personnel, all throughout the organization to go meet and sit down with Caleb Williams. And then they had the top 30 visit. So it's a lot of time being spent with Caleb Williams. I'm not going into the stats. You know what he's done in college. You know the highs and the lows of this young guy. With the number 1, they select Caleb Williams. Now, this is where it's going to get fun. The Bears have the number 9 overall pick in the first round. This is who I'm going with. I am going with edge Laiatu Latu out of UCLA. I know it's going to be people in there. No, you got to take Dallas Turner. I'm with you. It's a close between those two for me. But you got to get Laiatu Latu because I don't think Dallas Turner will be on the board. I strongly believe he could potentially be in Atlanta. So then you go and get you a guy who has all the pass rush moves that you need. He got the speed. He has the get off on the edge that can go ahead and change a lot of plays. Now, there are some concerns. One concern is, does he have the ball rush? Or can he seal up that edge during the run game? During the run defense. But I think Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, from learning this story, will enjoy the character that this young fella has. At one point, this guy didn't think that he'll play football again. He had a neck injury. If the Chicago Bears can get past that, they should be all right because he bounced back from that. He went and got second opinions and was able to get healthy, have surgery, and be able to come and play these last 2 seasons in his collegiate career. And in 2022, 10 sacks, 10 and a half sacks, 12 and a half tackles for loss. Last season, 13 sacks, 21 and a half tackles for loss. Major improvements, solid consistency for the last 2 years. The neck might not be an injury, but I think his story, his comeback story, will be something that can grab the attention of Ryan Poles. Now, before we move on, I know it's going to say there's going to be some people in there that say, but what about Jared Verse? And I'm not mad at that. That's a valid question. But Jared Verse, for me, his get off is a little slow at times. A lot of the time he depends on power. And sometimes that power can get you into places and help you be solid. But sometimes that power and those lack of moves can get you stonewalled by some of the best left tackles in the NFL. So I'm going with Laiatu Latu because of the speed, all the moves he can bring out. And I believe the development will be less challenging than said a Jared Verse. So I'm moving on with that. Now, the third pick that the Chicago Bears have falls in the third round at pick 75. Now, they didn't took their quarterback. They didn't touch the trenches on the defensive side. Ryan Poles touches the trenches again, but this time on the offensive side. He's going to get his center of the future in Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. Zach Frazier, massive man. Let's keep it a buck. 6'3", 313 pounds with 32-inch long arms. No diddy. But this guy was a starter throughout his entire collegiate career at the center position. He provides the Chicago Bears with a little tablespoon of experience or versatility for the snaps that he played at left guard. Just a few. It's very few. But if you look at his career, every season he was a starter as the center. He took more than 800 snaps. And the plus side to this is that he operated within West Virginia's offense that ran the ball more than they passed it. I think that's something you look at simply because I believe this season we're not going to see Caleb Williams throwing 30, 35 times. So the run game will be valuable, and his experience will be valuable when the Chicago Bears decide that they're going to run this ball. If you look at the stats, you say last season, 0 sacks given up by Zach Frazier. In the previous season, he gave up 3 sacks. So we looking at that. He was holding his own, pretty damn consistent all across the board if you look at the stats. And one thing that I really, really love about Zach Frazier is that this man was a wrestling champ. And if you watch the film on him, you look at that low base. You look at the good footwork. There is some things you got to work on when it comes to pass protection, but I believe you can clean those things up because he's solid in the run game. I think when it comes to that run game, he does have to learn how to, if you want to be good or great, you got to learn how to execute and get to that second level and push guys out of the way strategically. And that's going to be done by Simo and the coaching for the Chicago Bears. Now, we didn't got the quarterback. We looked at the defensive trenches. We attacked the offensive trenches, trying to seal that up. Now this one, the Bears can play around. So in the 4th round with the 122nd pick that they got from the Eagles, the Chicago Bears will select wide receiver Brendan Rice out of USC. Some people going to be like, Bobby, you think he's going to fall that far? I say it's possible. I believe it's really possible. There are some questionable things that come with Brendan Rice, of course. But I think that this gives your young quarterback, who's now the future of the Chicago Bears, some comfortability. Some people going to be, buttholes and say, well, why do you want to make him comfortable? Because that's what you need to do. If you want to break the curse, you got to do things to help your quarterback be comfortable and learn and develop and go on that and be on that positive growth learning curve. That's where you want him to be. I don't know what Brendan Rice will be in the NFL, but I think this gives your quarterback another option or something that you don't have to depend on much. Because I know it's going to be people that say, well, you got to take Rome Odunze with number 9. I'm not mad at that. I can see that. I will love that. But it ain't going to be too many balls getting passed to Rome Odunze when you got DJ Moore, when you got Keenan Allen, when you got Gerald Everett, when you got Cole Kmet, when you got Swift in the backfield. It's going to be very, very limited. So don't waste a high draft pick on a player you could potentially see him take over for the future after year one, but you still got to touch other things first. And I kind of feel like there could be some belief that Tyler Scott can fill the slot role well. So now you get your wide receiver 4 that you didn't have to spend a high draft pick on in Brendan Rice. And then you look to next season when you got a bevy of picks, and that's when you can potentially grab one of the top wide receivers in that draft. They come every single year. So you don't have to press and act like Rome Odunze is the last great wide receiver coming out of the draft. There will be another one coming next draft. But you take care of everything right now, and you hit some pieces, and you find some guys. That's how I'm looking at it. I hope my logic makes sense. If it don't, let me know why. If I sound crazy, let me know why. If you can see some of these being good possibles, let me know why. But hey, that's my mock draft, Bobby's mock draft. Let me know if you're rocking with it. So to recap before we go, the Chicago Bears in the first round, first pick, select Caleb Williams. In the first round with the 9th pick, they go get Laiatu Latu. In the 3rd round with the 75th pick, they go get Zach Frazier from West Virginia. And with the last pick in the 4th round, pick 122nd, Brendan Rice, wide receiver out of USC. That's Bobby's mock draft. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all asked. I hope I delivered everything that you wanted out of me. And let me know if it's good or if Bobby sounds crazy as hell. Hey, I am crazy. You got to be a little crazy to be able to do content on the Bulls and the Bears with all the things we had to deal with these last few years. But hey, thank y'all so much. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe before you go. Leave your thoughts and drop your mock draft in the comments. Let's chop it up. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.